Being a conversationalist has taught me that some of life's greatest value comes from the stories, journeys, and experiences of others. Through this podcast, I'll be speaking with some of the most tapped in and inspiring individuals from various different industries to unpack the gems behind successfully navigating our way through life with purpose. This is Candid Conversations on the Nicola Dawkins podcast. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations on the Nicola Dawkins podcast. I am joined today again by my good sis Terri-Lee. Afternoon, Terri. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm actually good. I'm good.
Good. How's your week been? Well, it's not. We're only midweek.
Yeah.
End of week, actually. How's your week been?
Good. I'm grateful as always, but nothing really. Mum stuff. It's a mum week. Yeah.
How is mother? Furthermore, so for those of you that don't know, Terri is a new mum.
I am.
Because I feel like, do you know what? We haven't really done like any personal intros throughout these episodes, and I feel like we might have to do an episode where we delve a little deeper into.
Do you notice there's so many different titles? But yeah, that's my main focus right now. But the weeks just go so quick, especially like maternity, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then nursery, childminder. Like I've got to look at big, everything real stuff now.
Up, yeah.
Yeah, so it's wild. There's no break. Like maternity is no break. There's no break. It's not like we're chilling. But I'm grateful. I'm so grateful because it's the best journey.
Good. I know motherhood ain't no joke, man. I really do be looking at everyone around me who are parents, and I'm just like, better be prepared.
Yeah, that's one.
And then
thing.
You're never really prepared, are you?
You can't be. I think that's what I tried to do. Like every new week in the pregnancy, I was like, okay, so week 12. What should be happening in my body now, all the way up until the end, and then week 1 of her being born what should we be doing? Month 1, month 2, where she should be, what's her development now? So it never stops. Wow. But
you're doing amazingly though.
Amen. I try. Thank you. I'm grateful.
You're doing good.
I'm grateful. How was your week?
My week's been alright, you know. What have I done this week? I'm trying to think. Half week.
Yeah.
It's been alright. There's no new milestones or anything.
That's fine.
Do you know what? I've been back in the gym because I had COVID. I had COVID again last week. Third time.
It's so rude. So rude.
I'm not even going to pour into that.
Yeah, no, even as you said it, I was just about to speak on how many times I've had it, and I'm not even
finished with it.
You're not owning me anymore.
No, done with it. Yeah. But Monday was a good day. That was like back on form, got back in the gym. So yeah, we're good. We moved.
Amen.
But today's episode, we're going to be discussing dating, love, and relationships, which is just a landmine.
This is a different one for us, but I'm excited because, like you said, there's so many different topics,
elements to it.
Yeah,
and our positions are very different. So I'm looking forward to this conversation because I feel like, for me, I'm of course single. For you,
long-term relationship.
So I feel like we'll
basically
be able to,
most of my 20s.
Yeah. Let's delve into that. How long have you been in a relationship?
Since I was 22, 23. But to get into a relationship, you then have to have met the person, been friends with the person, like the person. You have to go through all the stages first. And then, exclusive. And I'm 30. I was even thinking the other day, like I'm in a new era. Like, as in, cool. If we say, like, since I was 22, I'm nearly 32. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm actually, like, really nearly 32. So there's a lot of different elements that we can go into. I think
definitely. Just
because, like you said, we are at different stages, but it'll be a fruitful conversation, I'm sure.
100%. It always is.
Yeah.
When is it not?
Yeah.
I think navigating. Speaking from someone from a single point of view, navigating your way through the dating world to get to that relationship status is what I think is probably one of the most difficult things in this day and age.
Yeah.
Because so much has changed. You've been in a relationship, 8 years now. And I feel like back then there wasn't really social media the way there's social media now. There wasn't dating apps. There wasn't so many things that I feel like play a part into getting into relationship now.
Yeah, so many opportunities
exist.
to meet people.
But it's an opportunity in one breath, but at the same time, it's a hindrance in another.
Yeah.
Like even for example,
is it so much selection? No, you know what I mean.
I don't even think from that point. I say it from a standpoint of, for example, social media.
Yeah.
For me, I have an open profile. Obviously, like I'm very active on social media, and whilst I'm a private person, like there's so much of me on social media that if you know me, you know a completely different side of me as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like something I always worry about being out there in the dating world is meeting people through social media, in terms of if there's a guy, he's following me or he goes and checks out my profile, he's going to create a perception of me based on what I share on social media.
Yeah.
So if he now pursues me based on what he's seen on social media, one, has he seen too much in it to a certain degree, because it's enough for him to create an idea of who he thinks he's going to get.
He can also alter who he is to
fit in with who I am or what you think I like.
That's not the purpose.
Yeah. So that's always it's a contentious point for me. I feel like I like the idea of meeting someone outside of social media. Like even when I meet guys, if I haven't met them via social media and they don't know I don't give them my social media. I don't even let them know that I'm active on social media like that, because I want them to know me for who I am.
Yeah.
And
then you can.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I think, I don't know. I just think you're gonna she can cook, she does this, she does that, and it's just like,
it's about getting to know each other. And like you said, you can, because if people that you don't know, when you do look on their social media, you get a gist of the person, what they like, what they don't like, what they do, what they don't do. But that's the whole point of getting to know somebody. So it's kind of like stealing that part. And then, like I said, they can alter it to, oh, I like this part too. Oh, I like to do, and it's like, this is not going to work, because you're doing, and they say that some guys do that. Like is it love bomb? Is it love bomb? Have you heard that saying? Love bomb or gaslight? I don't think it's the gaslighting one.
No, because gaslight is.
I think it's the love bomb, where they like. Well, actually, that might not even be the right word for that. But love bombing, I know, is when they say like, "Oh, you're so amazing, you're so this," but it's in such a short space of time.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Everything is so, oh my god, you're great, amazing, magical, and it's like, okay.
Please don't.
Yeah, but like you said, they can go on your social media and just be like, oh, because I saw that you've done this, and it's so great that you've done. And did it, and it's just like easy.
Yeah. It's
so
like you can almost pandering.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what my voice said. Well, almost like pandering, which is like, because you've seen all this being done, you think you have to like.
You have to.
That's what you have to use to lift me and make me feel. Which I just prefer natural support. Like if you really are into what I'm doing, but just be calm and cool with it. Like that's what you're doing there, and I like that. Like I like a supportive guy.
Yeah.
But you can't. There's a certain degree that you can't play me in that aspect, because I'm very intuitive, and I can tell if you're being sincere or if you're not. I'm very grateful for that. I have the quality of being able to discern, like, you're just speeching me right now. Yeah. Or, no, you're really digging what I'm doing, and I appreciate it. So.
And I feel like that is, I can't take stuff like that. It don't happen to me. But just in general, I don't like stuff like that, because I feel like, and again, this is a type of relationship, but a friendship. I'm very much like that in friendship. I know a lot of people. I can say hi to a lot of people. I can have a chat with a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends, because I just can't do the fakeness. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
And I can see it being done in front of me. Yeah, I can see it being done in front of me, and I'm like, you can really do that. Like, you can really just act like, I can't do it. So if somebody does it to me, I'm just like,
In saying that though, in this day and age, because we said all that based off of the social media element, but in this day and age, when you're not meeting guys on social media, or if from a guy's aspect, if you're not meeting a girl off of social media, or a dating app, for example, how do you meet people? Like, obviously you go out, festivals, but it's just, I feel like it's very heavily online based these days.
Yeah, but you know what I'd say as well? Obviously thinking back to any time when I would have thought of like relationships or anything like that, for me, how I was single or how I'm in a relationship, I feel like you can, and I've said this, like, I've had these conversations with my single friends. If you don't want to do the social media thing, which, like you said, is really hard nowadays, go and do stuff that you like to do.
And then that's where you meet people.
Go and meet like-minded people.
True.
Because when I was single, that whole, I don't know if I'm just an awkward person, but I've got friends that will have DMs on DMs. And I got a DM and it might be from like someone from church, or it might like, it's like somebody, like some promo, like it just doesn't, I'm just not that way inclined. But if I'm talking to someone about something I'm passionate about, we can have a full conversation because I'm passionate about the thing. You might like the thing as well. I might not like you like that, but if I'm passionate enough, I can have a, So I don't know, because like I said, I'm not in it in this world, but is that not, can you not do that no more?
But DMs are a tricky one because
a lot of people do meet people in DMs, but
in
to me
DMs,
that's like,
I don't, it's, for me it's 50-50 because I don't really reply. It depends how you, like, you got, if you're going to come to me in a DM, I more so will reply to DM. You have to be smart with how, you can't just come in, like, when people, I get a fair amount of DMs that are like, either saying, how you look good, or like, hey babe, like, or just hey, and I'm just like, first of all, I'm not gonna come back and be like, oh hey, because who are you? But if you come and you maybe say something that warrants a response, or you're a bit more creative with the way you come, because it takes away that awkwardness of like, okay, I know you're trying to,
you can maybe reply to what they
to
say,
what you're
if it's
saying,
a question or something,
and then you just kind of build from there. I feel like I'm more likely to respond to DMs that way than just, oh hey, or beautiful and all this, and I'm just like, another one, you know. Take
note. I was just thinking, even when you're saying that, I was like, people making notes right now. They're like, okay,
in it, I gotta be careful. I said,
like, okay, so I need to jump in formula.
Like, Well, you know, but in saying that, I think the way you come, it has to be. Do you know what I mean? And if your profile isn't open, then I'm definitely not responding. I don't respond to DMs from private profiles because what's behind there? So it's not gonna work. But I prefer to meet people in person because I'm a vibes person. And I'm very much like, I like banter and the back and forth, and like I can pick up on your
like quick-witted as well.
So when I meet people outside, I feel like that's the success rate is better there because I'm like, okay, he's cool. Like, I like his vibe or whatever.
Yeah, but, a picture can only tell you so much as well.
And we said it's social media, so it's a persona. I don't even want to create a perception of you from what's on your profile.
And I feel like that's what you do on social media. Like, you know the you that you want to give out and how you want to portray yourself. That might not be you. That's what you want to portray, so that's what you're going to do.
True.
But yeah, I do have these conversations with my single friends all the time. But again, it's like what you said. We're coming from
different era.
Two different eras of when the dating world was. It's completely different. But again, like I said, even when it was different,
you've probably never used a dating app, have you?
No, never.
Since those things have kind of come out.
I haven't seen what they look like. I know what the main ones are that people always say. But I don't even know what.
Listen, I mean, I'm not keen on dating apps. I don't. To be fair, one of my friends, it works because one of my friends met someone on a dating app. They have a house. They bought a house together.
Wow.
They're married and they have a baby on the way.
Wow.
Such a beautiful love story. And they met via a dating app.
Do you know what?
So.
And this is a conversation that I was literally having this week. When it comes to that, again, it's alien. However, I keep hearing so many of these stories with people like 6 months, 8 months, like been together a year, married, kids, best time of my life. And sometimes I just think to myself like, wow, if you didn't set up that profile, you would not know that you're having the time of your life. Like, you must have. It was supposed to happen for a reason. Maybe you would have met them a different way. I don't know, but I do believe that things happen for a reason. So you made that profile for a reason, but it's still sometimes maybe a pride thing why people won't make the profile.
I feel like partially for me, if I'm being completely honest with myself, part of it is probably pride.
Yeah.
But then also part of it is just I just don't like it. Feels so saturated. Like it feels so. Oh, we're all here for the same thing.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
so
mean?
you
Because
really
I'm
know.
not. Back like years ago, one of my friends forced me into Tinder. Yeah, because she was like, "Oh, I'll get another," and I'm just like, no. And
I know that
did
one
it.
from that show. You know,
What show?
I'm probably gonna.
Oh,
say
Tinder
wrong.
Swindler.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Nah, I never met Simon.
I know that. Yeah, I know that one. I know that one.
I didn't lose nobody in the process. It's good. It's good. But I done it anyway, and I didn't even like it. I didn't really enjoy it because I felt like you had so many conversations, and then you're having the same type of conversations with so many people, and I also kind of forget like, oh, hold on, wait, which guy? And no one really stood out.
Yeah.
But then there was a guy who was alright. I did actually go on a date with a guy from there as well. He was cool. Like it was cool, but I didn't see him again because he just wasn't really ticking the.
I think it's hard. It's kind of like, it's like a box, and you've all put yourself in there. Do you know what I mean? But there's still people out there. But do you know what? Funny enough, I have had an app, not like that, but it was a professional app. There was a certain job I had where I had to get my own leads, and I can't remember what the app's called, but it's literally an app where you put yourself on there. You have to put a picture. You put keywords of what you're looking for, what you do, and then other professionals like will message you.
Oh yeah.
And then you can like meet up and do business and stuff. And I remember like some of the people, like grown men, like director level, I'm trying to set up meetings with them.
But they're trying to set up a date.
And they're thinking it's a whole different thing. Like these emails, the emails that was trying to come through, I was like, no.
You didn't understand the assignment.
Yeah, and obviously being in sales, you know, like you need to sell, but sometimes you have to draw the line. Because I was like, this is not, there's apps for that, you know. Yeah, no, so I get how it works because it was the same. I had to have a profile, and then you can like move to there's other people who have the same keywords as you, and then if you want to have if you want to have that conversation, you tell them what you do, they tell you what, so then you can see if you can do business together. But yeah, some people got excited.
Makes sense. But yeah, no, I was only on there probably about a week or two, and I was just like,
you.
this is just not for me. I did it the one time, and I just didn't look back. And I don't know. I don't feel like it's my portion. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm not like.
What do you feel like it's your portion?
I would never go back to that app though.
Yeah.
My portion is like. Do you know what I always say? I know this is so dumb. But one day, like I'm just gonna be at the petrol station filling up, and then like, okay, I'll pay or something. Then I'm going back to my car, accidentally like drop my card or something, and I go to pick it up, and then there's some nice guy, 100% my type of paper. He just like goes to pick it, like, okay.
You pick it up together.
Oh yeah.
But you're manifesting.
Like,
you don't know.
A chick flick, like something, you know. Nah, I know that's obviously really just silly. I'm being silly, but it might happen.
Yeah,
just
you
put it out
know.
in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But no, I just feel like I know when I meet people. Yeah. If I like you quite quickly. Yeah. And actually, I thought that but I didn't really feel like people could grow on me. But I'm kind of learning that actually that maybe it's possible. I don't know. But forget about that. I think for me, for the most part, when I meet you, I know if I get your persona and whatnot, like your vibe. And even someone I met like somewhat recently, I just like you got to come confidently and you need to be like proactive. Like this guy came. Yeah. One, he was very authentic. He was just himself. We were just chatting, and he didn't come and try and speech me. We were just talking, and we just got on well through talking. Yeah. And then obviously it's changed numbers, and then he was very proactive in like setting up a date, like being in contact, and his communication levels were like A1, legit. I just feel like he was we would just talk for.
So is that on your checklist? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? That's why there's a reason for everything, because I didn't know that communication was that important to me until I was dealing with him for that period of time. Until I realised actually it was so easy and smooth because he was just a very transparent and open communicator. And yet I was never ever questioning or thinking, you don't ever have to kind of overthink things. And I'm an overthinker. Yeah. So I realised, wow, like his level of communication and just authenticity was very it worked
It was
well with
working,
who
it was
I am as a
matching.
person.
Yeah.
And then he was very proactive, even in terms of like setting up a date, like just not wasting time and pursuing like, I wasn't free on this day. This is like, remember, I want to take you, when you, and then the date happened.
Yeah, so
the
you
way
can
he
appreciate
dealt with
that.
himself. Exactly. And I feel like you got to be proactive,
Especially
with
at this
me.
age.
Yeah, like you got to be proactive. You got to be just open and true to like who you are. And that's why I'm not a serial dater. Like, I feel like if I don't have a basic interest in you, I wouldn't go on a date with you.
Yeah.
I don't even really entertain the conversations too tough if
That's
I'm
good.
not.
Protect your energy.
Exactly. I don't have a lot of it to spare.
Yeah.
So I just think, that's really important. But also, a good question is, in that realm of things, in terms of when you're dating, when is a good time to express your intentions and expectations? Because like, I'm not a person that has like first date questions and stuff. I'm just a talker, and I feel like when we talk, I gather the information from what you're telling me naturally. I don't really ask questions.
You'll get what you need.
Exactly, because I just want you to be yourself, and then I'm taking from what you're saying naturally, But I don't want to be like, so what's your like 5-year plan and da, da, da. Like I don't
think that works with anyone, and I feel like some people do get stuck on YouTube in that sense and really believe that, okay, so they said, and it's like, for me, the more you be yourself, because I just feel like sometimes you can be so prepared for stuff, but you're not being yourself. So when are they going to see the real you? Do you know what I mean? For me personally, you've got to like we've got to, it's like what you said, you've got to vibe, but I know what I like. So there needs to be a common ground. I can't like you and try and like what you like so that you like me. I can't do it. It's not going to work. Because I feel like anytime someone does anything fake or anything like that later down the line, it could be years down the line. Yeah. People can fake it for a long time. Yeah. It can be years down. It's going to come. Yeah. So there's no point wasting your own time. There's no point.
No, it's true. But then you need to find balance between being yourself and letting things play out naturally, but then also having that, these are my expectations, these are kind of my requirements, what are your intentions? But I feel like those questions are necessary, but also quite awkward. Like, I've never spoke to a guy and been like, what are your intentions? And that, but I think actually that is quite important.
Do you know what? I think, especially like from my point of view in a relationship, I feel like what you said earlier, you will pull what you need. However, this age now, and like say for example, when I'm at my partner, my requirements are going to be completely different, or my intentions might be completely different. His intentions might be completely different. So when you grow with somebody, it's not a one-off thing, and then we're going to skip down, like we're going to skip and be happy, and like it's a constant thing because you're constantly evolving. If you want to constantly evolve,
but that's when you get to that place. But the problem with the dating world, and especially these days, because even with tapping back into that social media, it's like the options are many. So then it's like you have to get to the stage of actually, okay, me and you are going to do this, and getting from that dating to taking it seriously, that within itself is like,
yeah, it must be hard. But funny enough, I just watched yesterday, Denzel Washington said, it was like a little clip, and he was talking about his wife, and it was like he really respects his wife, like that is his queen. And they said like, what's kept you grounded? Like, you're this, you're that, and he literally just said, my wife.
Amen to that.
Literally, just that was it. That was just my wife.
That's the dream in that aspect, right?
But the next bit was the part that I was like, oh, because I was like, okay, but what about her? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the partnership? What does she do? Does she bring, you know, because they always say it's the woman behind the man that makes him successful. And he literally said, I had one foot in the streets and I had one foot in the active world, and it was her that took me to where I need to be. And he said, like, if it wasn't for her, I would not be who I am today. And he said, but what people need to see now is when you see that woman, you're not going to see her as an amazing woman and all of that yet. You're going to see potential. If you can see the potential and you can stick with that, and you don't jump as soon as it gets hard and be like, oh, do you know what, she's long. Let me go and fight. Because that's how it is nowadays, because you've got so many different options and so many girls like, hi. Do you know what I mean? So now it's like, we're arguing. She looks alright, and she's messaging me.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, he literally said, if you guys can just find the one that has potential. and you can grow. Don't jump ship every minute. The time when it gets rough, you can't keep jumping ship, or you're just going to be in the same place all the time with a short thrill. Do you know what I mean? It will literally just be a short thrill for how long? However long is this going to be? So,
but that's also, I guess that because there's always a lot of chat about what do you bring to the table, and I really hate that question because there shouldn't be a table without me.
I was just going to say that, I
will say,
because you can have because both of you will have attributes that you bring, but it's not. No one's just sitting at that table by themselves.
Right. So my thing with what do you bring to the table is there shouldn't be a table without me. Equally, there shouldn't be a table without you. Yeah. And there's two parts to that. One, it's like, okay, you're the surface, I'm the legs, but you need to feel like I'm the legs. I can't tell you why my legs fit your table. You know what your surface is, and you know the type of legs that you're looking for. And I think it's
not an interview.
I can sing my praises till the cows come home. I can tell you I got this, and deliver the best filet mignon you've ever seen in your life. But what good is my filet mignon if you're a vegan and you're looking for a chickpea curry?
This literally is what we was talking about, just in regards to
with who?
Literally just my friend this week about, and it's not even just love languages. It's just you can really feel like you are putting your best foot forward and you're stamping your feet like, I'm doing all of this. How come you're not wanting me like? And it's like, because who said that's what he pictures as?
So I don't like
amazing
that. What
and
you
great.
Bring to the table?
Because you don't know.
You need to tell me what I bring to the table. You need to figure out if I'm adding to your life. I will just come as myself. What I bring to the table is me. And it's for you to understand and figure out whether that suits what you're looking for. And it's so much bigger than she has this, she can cook, she da. Those my attributes, and that's another thing about the social media thing, is just like, okay, great, that's great, but that doesn't even matter. It's the little things, me outside of that, of like, okay, you tell me you've got an important event coming up or a meeting coming up, and I remember on that morning to message you and say like, oh, good luck.
It really is
today. Those are the little things, and I think those characteristics that you have within yourself, it's a guy. That's what the guy needs to be able to appreciate. That she remembers things. She reminds
characteristics of somebody can take them a long way. Just like what you said, it could be the smallest things, businesses I've done, and I'm not going to be too personal, but businesses I've done, like from the beginning to it being a thought process and having the support there, or to me having an event. And it's going to be hard work for me. My partner just jumps into action, and it's just like it's the small things that he might just feel like, oh yeah, she needs a bit of help. But how I take it, it's like, wow, like
you care,
but because you don't have to. And I feel like in the generation, I would say, of like social media, whatever, everyone's so entitled. Yeah, you have to. You're my partner. You should. Who said? Who said? Because when you've got your business idea, I can support you how I can. But there's some things that I'm not going to be able to do. Does that mean I'm not a great girlfriend because I can't do? Do you know what I mean? So I feel like this generation is so entitled, and I feel like that's what everyone is. I don't know what or who their couple goals are. Why everybody is like, this is how it should be, and it shouldn't be like this. And are you making this? And you should give me.
It's a lot. That's what's damaging. Yeah, and I feel like especially there's a certain level of entitlement and expectation that can hinder even getting to a certain place. But in the same breath, you have to be true to yourself. Yeah. So say, for example, I was speaking to my cousin yesterday, something about me, right? Y'all don't cancel me for this now. No, but look, I have to be true to myself sometimes, right? And I think, say, for example, flowers, I read a tweet the other day, and the tweet said something about, you need to learn and understand your girl. Just because maybe she might not care that much about designer things, it doesn't mean she's not bougie. Some girls are hotel bougie, some girls are travel bougie, some girls are, and I'm like, that's true, because me as a character, and you as my friend, my friends, my family, everyone around knows that I have a certain like finesse, but it's who I am as a person. I've not seen certain things and be like, that's what.
That's just how you are.
I can see if you put two things in front of me, I'm gonna pick that one, and that one is always probably likely gonna be that one that was most expensive. But it's because I can see the quality in that and I like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tissue. 2-ply tissue, it's not really going to run. You want 3 or 4-ply tissue. It's just a bit like you can feel the difference. But some people might not care. Some people are like, tissue is tissue, right? But it's not in my world. Exactly. And we were talking yesterday about flowers, and I said, look, I love a nice bouquet, and I'm a flower person anyway. Like, I love flowers, and that is a way to kind of like woo me or things that I like.
Flowers,
but I also gift like flowers. And, okay, so here's a pun. Because they're like, okay, you're doing too much, but in my opinion, it's not too much. So I said, if someone bought me flowers, but it was from like the supermarket, I'm not really appreciative of those flowers, and I'll tell you why. Because for me, it's not the thought that counts. It's the flowers, and then it's also you knowing me, because I think anyone who actually knows me, or if you've taken the time to understand me, you'll probably know that those flowers are not gonna it's not really hitting the same, if you know what I mean. And I say that because even if I'm gifting flowers, I'm not gonna go and buy, and it depends, because like M&S have nice bouquets, so it depends on the like on the look,
but it will
you
still
can't
be
just
the
buy
fault
me.
because it will still be the fault, because they'll know, oh, let me go to M&S. If I have to get it from the supermarket because of the quality that she likes, let me get it from here.
Exactly, because I'm looking at those flowers also, like, you paid attention to what I'm actually gonna like. Because those flowers that are just like them little, like, do you know, just the ones you can just tell, I just buy those and put in the hallway just and in the living room.
Just
naturally.
Like
so if you give that to me, like, I'm
Thanks,
not.
they can go out there.
I have to be honest with myself and you, and I feel like what I've done is I compromise a lot in the part, and you'd be like, oh, you don't, like you say about the entitlement thing, you wouldn't want people to think, oh, you're entitled, but it's not actually. It's
so
just
you
my truth. It. And I'm just thinking, no, like, I don't think it's people's truth
on Instagram. I don't know where they're getting it from. Like, it could be a couple people's truth, but maybe some people jump on the bandwagon.
And they want it, but I genuinely like. If you,
but because I know you, I know
you would know that. But in saying that, I said to my cousin when we were speaking, I said, I'm the type, you can. Valentine's Day or my birthday or our anniversary, I'm that 100 long stem roses type of girl. Like, genuine, and that will just be like, that is a factor for me. That's like, that will make me smile, legit. And I said, she was like, 100, are you all right? Like, and I said, but in saying that, you might think that's crazy, but if my man knows me, I would prefer that over a £1,500 Chanel bag. And she was like, are you crazy? I said, no, but that's
it's the knowing
me.
you.
Exactly. Like, that would make me, if you bought me the £1,500 bag, I'd be like, oh, thank you. But I don't really mind. I'll rather even buy myself the bag, and you've bought me those flowers. Now, if you can buy me both because you're doing very well and you're not going to feel it, then all the better. But it's the flowers for me more so than the bag.
Wrong with that.
And
everyone has their experiences. Because I wouldn't say that's entitlement, because you're not, like you said, you're not saying, excuse me, do I not have bag and flowers?
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? That's your preference. That's how you are. It's not. I wouldn't even say that's like a love language. That's literally how you are. And then you want somebody that complements that.
When your anniversary comes, that it'll be 101 roses, but the one rose might be a different color. And then now it's sentimental.
But that just shows, because this is what I was saying again about the dating apps. I'm not saying that you can't, because again, like I said, a lot of people have been successful, but it's stuff like that, getting to know somebody authentically to see what they actually like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you can tell, like, even when I buy people flowers or send people flowers, I'm even on the website, if that £35 bouquet or £40 bouquet ain't really hitting the way the £55, 60 one's hitting, I'm not just going to send you the 35, 40 one because it's cheap on it's like, no, that's not beautiful, and that's going to give, when that arrives at your door, I know how that's going to make you feel. And I'm just like, I know that because that's also how I am, if you know what I mean. So like, I pay attention to things, and I like experiences. If, for example, you're going to try and impress me, taking me to like Hakkasan is not that's not going to impress me. I love food, and I love nice food, and I can tell good food from not food and how that's been seasoned and cooked. But in saying that, I love a good view. I love an experience. I love like a bonding, something where, do you know what I mean?
You don't forget that.
Exactly.
You don't forget an experience. I always say, like, you can, and just even from the years of just anything, when you really think back to stuff, or when your phone shows you memories, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that day, but you will always remember how someone made you feel.
Exactly.
Like all the time, you'll be like, oh, I remember this, that, about that day, because of how you felt.
Whereas some girls do feel entitled. They're like, no, first day, if you're trying to impress me, then you need to take me like Hakkasan or something. But I feel like in saying that, I don't think an honest, hard-working man, especially if it's like a first date, unless you really got it like that, then, and that Hakkasan is not going to affect your pocket, then fine. But I don't expect that. I don't expect you, because I do believe a man should pay on the first date. I'm not paying. And you should probably know that before you even try and ask me on a date, because I just think, for me, it's not about the money. It's just about the show of intention. And it shows me kind of your intention and your characteristics. Are you a provider? And because a lot of men, especially like guys I meet or tend to go on dates with, they pride themselves on being a provider or being that guy that, like, no, you're with me. Why would you? So, and even that little, like, you know, the little novelty of, oh, let me pretend to, I used to be like that. And I'm like, no, I'm not even going to pretend, because in saying that, I don't feel entitled that you should pay for the date. But it is my expectation as a man, if you are trying to court me, that you should pay for the date. But equally, I want to see that that's how you feel too. And if you don't, then we're just not a good fit.
See, that to me makes sense. If you feel like there's even like a, are you going to pay, or I'll pay then?
Oh God, no.
No. But
we should know from talking on the phone, because like I say...
What if you asked? What if you said, no,
I'm not going to ask any man to go on a date.
Okay.
It's not... If a girl asks a guy to go on a date and she ends up paying, then I'm not surprised, because he didn't initiate
What
this.
if he said, oh, we should go out somewhere, and then you said, oh, I'm going to find some places?
No, but then he's initiated the date and told you to go and look for the place. So that's fine. But if a girl, if you're just talking to a guy, or you're not even talking like that, first of all, I need the guy to be proactive and tell me, like, I want to take you out, because there's only so long you can talk and fill it on the phone. Exactly. So if we are vibing, then, like I told you, even with one of the other guys recently, he was very proactive. Like, we spoke, we got I want to take, from the time we spoke the first time, he's like, oh, I want to take you out, and then we spoke on the phone, and it was like, remember, let me know what your schedule, and then literally he was very proactive in making sure it happens. And I think that's a show of intention. Like, if we're just talking, but you haven't asked to take me anywhere, or we're not, you haven't made it a move to go somewhere, then you're not interested to see me.
So when you was younger, was you like that as well? Like, when it comes to dating, they have to pay. Like, is that?
No, to be fair, I've never paid on a date. But now I'm older. Now I have that view, because I also understand that how things start is a foundation. And if you're cool with that, then it shows what your expectations are. So if, for example, during the dating stage, I'm paying and I'm like carrying the load, then is that the expectation throughout our relationships, that I have to, we can share the load? Or there might be a time that we've now built on this, and you're down at some point during our relationship, and I have to carry us, do you know what I mean, for a year or two. But we've built ourselves to that place, and you just come across hard times. So it's a give and take situation. But I feel like there's also a sense of
intention when you're coming in,
right? And then also I want to feel like my man's got me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's not about security. The money. It's about just why would you? Why are you? I'm here. You don't need to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, you don't want to have to think about something and think like you're worrying and they're worrying with you.
Why are we shaking? Are we washing
together?
Dishes? Are we washing dishes tonight?
No, you can't be
like, what is
together.
going on? Do I have to call over the manager? Like, no, it's just, I think, and naturally, even in saying that though, that's because of the precedent that I would like in a relationship, that I desire, is that you lead us, you carry us. But in saying that, possibly on your birthday or whatever it might be, I might book for us to just go away.
Yeah.
Or there will be times I'm like, babe, I'm treating you today. Like, you know, I'm not, I don't just want to take. And in saying that, I do feel like there's a certain element of a woman where we're the nurturer as well. So you might pay on dates, but for the man, you should feel like I'm your like rib.
Yeah.
Like you want to do that.
Yeah, you want to do that.
You realize the value I bring to your life. It might not be in currency, but money doesn't even compare to what I mean to you. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's the kind of balance that I aspire to have in a relationship. Is just like, because I'm the type, I'll go out and if I know our babe would like that, I'll just buy it for him. Yeah. Or, you know, little things, your mum's birthday's coming up. I like stuff like that. Yeah, have you...
It's just and even that, again, I don't even want to keep saying like it's a love language, but even that, when you love somebody, that's their fault. They're always in your mind anyway. So you will see a jumper and be like, oh, I know exactly. You like that.
You just see that.
Yeah, it's just, but the reason I asked is because when I think again back to, I would even say single days, I was still a baby when I think about it now. Again, maybe it's the whole, because I was so hard with the tomboy thing at the time. For me, that's why I said like the relationship for me, that was the way to go for me. Just because of how I am. The whole paying for me, in my mind, is completely different. It's do you think I can't pay for myself? That's the mindset I had.
Really?
And I don't know why, but it's like, no, I got this. I'm fine. So I think I had a defense up.
I used to be like that.
So that's why I asked you, like, was it always like that? Because maybe as I'm older, it's like what you said, there's intention behind it. Yeah. When you're younger, you're not thinking about what's the intention behind it. Yeah. My thing was that, no, I got money, I work, I'm okay. Yeah. And then same thing, my partner come along, and he, to me, was very alpha male. I got this, and I'm like, okay. Do you know what I mean?
But then do you know what it is? When that comes into your life, you realize, wait, I like that. Yeah. Because I feel like that was also part of it for me, is like, oh, because especially if you grow up and it gets a bit deeper, if your dad was not a provider, if your dad wasn't in your life, then
so you're
used to being...
Your person who's always got it is the female.
Right.
So then you're the next female to be like, no, I got it.
And then you've been having you. So then you're just like, and then you pride yourself on being able to be, I got it out of the mud and this is it. So now you meet a guy, and then the guy's like, why are you doing that? And that's what you... Maybe feminists wouldn't agree with that, but for me, I feel like when a man comes in and goes, I got you, you don't need, and then it's like, oh, and then you have to unlearn certain things, because
you have to let them at some point. Yeah, you have to let them lead at some point.
I think that ties into a wider, because it's not even just about the paying thing. Yeah, and you know it's funny, because I'm not going to pick up on it. But yeah, I used to, if you know, you know. Yeah. But I used to be like that in terms of, I've got me, or all right, fine. Even if you do that, do you think I can't do that for myself, or whatever it might be? But I'm glad, because because I've taken time out to really be single and to learn and to grow as an individual. And there is a reason. God has a reason for everything. Because if somebody met me 5 years ago and I was in a relationship from then, I would not be the person I am now. Yeah. Like, my mentality, my mind state, everything is, I'm such different. Yeah, I'm so much more in tune now. I feel like I've learned a lot more now. I feel like I understand even just men differently now, in terms of like 5 years ago, I would have a lot to say as well. Yeah. But now I'm like, do you know what? The goal is to be a man's piece, or to be like more, I'm not even going to use the word submissive, but you see, when you were saying, I was like, I can do this myself. Yeah. It's like, no, allow a man to... Yeah. I'm learning to operate in my femininity. Amen. That is the one. I'm still learning. That's why I say learning, because it's not mastered. But when you've done things for yourself for so long, and when you kind of grow up the way we grew up, and you see your mum as well, especially with like single mums, or you grow up under a single mum and you're doing everything, you become versed that way, and you're used to being like, that's the only way you know, or like,
I'll carry the bags. I can handle it. And then when you got a guy like, even I think I mentioned to you for like on your birthday, your last birthday, and we were carrying the things into your house, and I had like a table.
Yeah.
And then I think it was your auntie's partner was like, "Do you want me to take it?" And I was like, "No, it's alright. I got it." No, now I'm like,
yeah.
Sure, yes, please, because you're a man,
but you
and
have
I'm
to
a woman.
practice
and
it.
You
have to practice it, because I've had these conversations with my partner, and bearing in mind how long we've been together, so for a long time, maybe he didn't say, but a long time, these not issues, but these are things that he noticed, but it's only more so, maybe let's say within the last 5 years, just through conversations, it's like, I ask you certain things, and you're like, no, I got it. And it's like you said, like carrying bags. I'll be taking all the bags out the car, and he'll be like, no, I can carry them. I'm like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, but then where do you let your man be a man?
Yeah,
exactly.
But this is what he, and he didn't say it. We literally more in conversation. Then I realized in the conversation, oh, that's what I do. Do you know what I mean? I didn't realize. I'm literally just having a conversation. I realized that, wow, I still do a lot. Even though in my head I feel like I've given him a lot. Like I feel like I've compromised a lot to allow somebody to do for me. But then I will still be trying to take 6 bags out the car when I don't need to. And it was just in a conversation when I realized, I'm me. Me. Yeah. So but you have to practice it. And this is why I say that even in a relationship or being single, you can still learn if you want to. Because I could have took that message in, it could have gone over my head, and I could have been like, oh, I swear. But I took it and I realized, wait, I do that. So I actually have to practice it forcefully. Because there will be times when I still go, and then he'll say like, oh, I can take that, and I'll be like, okay.
You gotta let.
Yeah.
But I think when
it's
you
not
get
natural.
It's not natural, but when you get comfortable doing it, and also I feel like, because it's if you're doing everything for yourself, especially in a relationship, as women we probably don't realize, especially when you come up independently, but where does your man, the man might begin to feel like, well, why do you need me here then?
It's like a battle.
Where's my, because if I'm like, now I got it, even things like pumping your petrol into your car. Like if you're with your man and you might be driving, he might be in a passenger, but you go petrol station, your man should get out and actually pump the petrol. But see, I shouldn't pump the petrol, my man's in the seat.
But where did that come from? Like, do you know what I mean? Is it just like you sitting there thinking, why am I doing this?
No. It's again operating in your femininity, and that's something that I'm actually learning, because before I can get out and pump the petrol. But now I'm like, no, I want to allow why should, as a woman, and again, the feminists gonna hate me for this one, just allow him. I feel like it's just allow a man to just
be available,
to be available to just help you. It's not like you're incapable of doing it, but those things help you to become more feminine.
And I think it's more about the girl than the man in that sense, in the sense of allowing someone to do for you, because they're not saying you can't do. They're not saying that you're not capable. That's something I've had to tell myself. But like the gas thing, I didn't actually notice that I was allowing him. I didn't actually notice that I was allowing him to do that, if that makes sense. It wasn't a thought process until I heard stuff like that, like online, and people say, oh, you should. And I thought back and I was like, oh yeah, I don't do that. But so there's a couple things, but again, that one's not a battle. I just was like, yeah, okay. Do you know what I mean? So there's some things I will battle, some things, I don't battle anymore. I do try to do the whole operate in my femininity, because I know that, again, when you grow up as a tomboy, and I was like a full-on tomboy up until like 18, when I first got my hair done, first done my eyebrows, first wore a dress, and I looked so wrong in the dress. Like I just looked so wrong. I was athletic looking in the dress. Not saying there's nothing wrong looking like that, but for me, it just wasn't working. And then, I met my partner as friends when I was 20. So it was me transitioning, me growing into who I am now.
A female, more feminine woman.
Yeah, like I've had him there as well, and he's obviously grown as a man. But I feel like the difference, like I was saying, because I'm coming from a different viewpoint, when you're in a relationship, you have to make the effort to grow as a person, separate from your partner. Because it's not going to work.
Because you need to be two complete individuals.
Yeah.
And then you come together and complement each other in
you're
your completeness.
growing. You're at different stages. To 22 to 30, you're at different stages.
There's going to be a lot of growing. Do you know what? We need to, in part 2, because we're going to chop this into 2 parts. So we're going to dive into that, because as well, in relationships, we know we got that big omen of the cheating element of it as well, which I had a conversation with some guys the other day about that, which we'll just discuss in part 2, which will be just shortly. But I do think, just rounding off on that femininity point, it is something that we do have, I mean, to each their own, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I've really taken time to learn and study and grow within myself of how I can be a better person in a relationship, because I do see in the past or in previous situations where I could have actually done better.
Yeah.
Now that I'm learning and growing and maturing a lot more. And I think sometimes even just that, pick your battles. Not everything needs to be said. Okay, let a man just be a man sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not every day like you try and force your point or argue your situation. It's just
there's a lot of there's a lot to when you're growing together. There's a lot, because like you said, you can battle, you can get through the battles together. You will love each other, be in love with each other, not in love this day. Like, there's so much levels, but it's about not jumping ship. If that's what you want, don't jump ship, but you have to learn to, you can grow together, you're going to grow together, but you have to also learn to grow by yourself.
Do the work.
Know what you like what you like, because you know, like when people say when people have kids, they lose themselves. It's like in a relationship, you can sometimes dedicate so much to the relationship and lose yourself. But you're not going to be happy unless you still work on you and still what's the word, like not even inject, but still spend time on yourself, focus on yourself, what you like. And I think it was actually a Will Smith or Jada, like their kind of thing, where one of them said, like, you can't let that person be responsible for making you happy. You need to be happy within yourself. It's not their responsibility. I took that in. I took that in deep, and I remember sitting down just thinking about, because there is stuff like you will say to your partner, I like to do this, well, you don't like to do that, and it's a nag. But at the same time, who said that you can't do it because your partner doesn't like it? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I saw that on their red table. I think it was to do with their holidays and stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah, there's a lot of compromise,
Part 2, compromise, cheating and all its greatness.
Yeah.
Marriage, which obviously none of us are married, but you've been in a very long-term relationship, so definitely we need to dive. I feel like the relationship element of it, we've covered very much dating, operating in our femininity, maybe transitioning from that dating to like going full throttle. But we're going to end this segment here, and then we'll be back for part 2 to dive into the growth stages of relationships. And just that compromise and battling, because it's not always smooth sailing. So join us for part 2 of dating, love and relationships. This has been Candid Conversations on the Nicola Dawkins podcast. I've been joined by my good sis Terri-Lee, who you can find online. Do you want to give them your @?
It's It's Terri-Lee.
It's Terri-Lee on Instagram. And this episode and podcast is powered by The Purpose Platform, which you can find on Instagram @The Purpose Platform. All the links are in the bio. And I myself have been your host, Nicola, and you can find me online, Nicola KBD. That's Nicola KBD. Join us for part 2 of love, dating, and relationships shortly. Bye.